Hello students, let's begin with new topic, new subject, that is designing of organic synthesis. In this we are going to learn protection and deprotection of functional groups in organic chemistry. So let's begin. So let's see what is meant by protection and deprotection of functional group. When there is a chemical reaction is carried out selectively at one reactive site, other reactive sites are temporarily blocked. This is known as protection of that group. Okay, and the group that is used for the protection is known as protective groups. Let's see with the example. If I have this compound in which I have keto as well as ester functional group. Okay, so I have multiple functional group in one compound. In that case, if we want to selectively do reaction on any one of this functional group, then we need to block other group. So in this case, we need to do the reaction on ester group, and as you know that there is a keto group which is also similarly reactive. So before we carry out the reaction on ester group, we can protect the keto group with ethylene glycol and we get this kind of protection. After that, we will carry out the reaction on ester functional group, that is we are using Grignard reagent. Okay, Grignard reagent will do the methylation over here, and after acidic conditions, this protecting group is deprotected to again ketone. This is how the protection and deprotection carried out. So first step is protection, then second step, or there might be many steps after that, we carry out the deprotection. So this is the simple phenomenon of protection and deprotection. So there are so many protective groups are developed in the past, and still there are so many new protecting groups are in development. So this process is continue, and there are lot many reactions and reagents we can discuss in this topic. So let's discuss what is the ideal protective group. So ideal protective groups must react selectively in Gouldild. Okay, then second point is it must stable to the projected reactions. Okay, then it must be selectively removed in Gouldild. Okay, we don't want that group continue in our compound. Then preferably it non-toxic, but non-toxic preferably, that means most of the chemicals are toxic in either way, so preferably we take the non-toxic protective group. Then it must not attack the regenerated functional group. If we are generating any other functional group in the next reaction, so it should not attack on that functional group. That means it should be inert in nature. It must not form side product. Okay, so if we protect the functional group, then after protection there not be the side product. So ideally there is no such protecting group, because each and every protecting group have some limitations. So no protective group is the best protective group. So there is a chance for the development of new protecting groups in the chemistry. So this is how the ideal protecting group looks like. So if he not satisfy all the conditions, it must follow most of the conditions. So let's start with the hydroxyl or alcohol protecting groups. So hydroxyl is a OH, and OH is present in acid, phenol, alcohols, diols. So we will focusing on alcohol first, and then we will go for other functional groups. So alcohol, if we want to protect alcohol, the most common protecting group is former ether. Okay, former ether, especially methyl ether. So we can form a ROME, that is methyl ether of that alcohol, and the first reagent for methylation is used is a dimethyl sulfate. Okay, dimethyl sulfate looks like CH3O, yes, double bond O, double bond O, O CH3. Okay, this is a diester, and as it is a diester, it is sweet smelling, but it is carcinogenic as well as very toxic to human being. So this is, I can say, this is a sweet poison. So due to its toxicity, the use of dimethyl sulfates is reduced in nowadays. Okay, so let's see how the dimethyl sulfate works. If we have dimethyl sulfate, the OH lone pair will attack on the methyl group, and of course due to this sulfoxy group, this O will take a lone pair towards him, and then after that O minus will attack on the hydrogen and positive charge on the oxygen is neutralized. So we get the side product, that is methyl sulfate, and we get the protection of our OH group. So this is the example of acid. Dimethyl sulfate is most the time it is used for the protection of acids and phenols. So we can use it for the alcohol also. We can see in the next examples. So the reaction conditions for the protection of alcohols with or hydroxyl with dimethyl sulfate, we need to use a base with the in presence of dimethyl sulfate. So base can be changed from NaOH to NaH to KH or so on. So these are the reaction condition. With the help of them we can methylate the alcohols. Now the next reagent is the next reaction is diazomethane. Okay, there is some changes in the reaction. So diazomethane is looks like CH2 minus and N2 plus. This is called as diazomethane. Okay, this is a diazomethane structure and the delocalization of diazomethane. The negative charge can be on carbon as well as on nitrogen. This is a canonical structure of diazomethane. So diazomethane is very helpful reagent for methylation, but the one problem with diazomethane is it is explosive. So if we have any cracks or breaks in the glassware, the friction, that much of friction with diazomethane can cause explosion. So this is the explosive reagent. So in 60s and 70s it was most frequently used for the methylation by using diazomethane, silica gel or some other reagents. So nowadays the use of diazomethane is very little. Let's see first mechanism, and then I will tell you what the alternatives are used for the diazomethane. So mechanism is very simple. CH2 minus is a nucleophilic. It attacks or abstracts the proton from OH and creates the O minus. This O minus then attack on the methyl group, and as you see, the N2 is good leaving group. It will displace in SN2 type mechanism. Okay, SN2 type mechanism. It will display or it will leave the methyl group, and we get the OCH3 and N2 as a side product. Okay. So what are the alternatives for the diazomethane? Instead of using directly the diazomethane, now people are using silylated diazomethane. Okay, silylated diazomethane. The example is TMS-CHN2. This is a trimethyl-silyl diazomethane, which is less explosive than the diazomethane. Okay, less explosive, or is very safe to use. So similarly, we can methylate the acids, alcohols and phenols with the help of this TMS diazomethane. Is a safe alternative for the diazomethane. Here are some examples in which you can see the diazomethane methylated this OH and this OH. If we use excess of diazomethane, it will protonate both primary and secondary alcohols. If we use in one equivalent, it will protect only one of the OH group. Okay, this is how the diazomethane is used for the methylation of alcohols, phenols and acids also. Now, as the first two reagents are, one is very toxic and another one is exclusive, the most safest or the safest reagent for methylation is methyl iodide. Okay, methyl iodide, it is less toxic, or I will say it's a very safe to handle. It's a thick viscous liquid and it is volatile liquid. So it have tetrahedral structure and very useful for the SN2 nucleophilic substitution. So this methyl iodide or iodomethane is frequently used for the methylation. So the mechanism is very simple. If we have methyl iodide or iodomethane, just prepare the phenoxide or alkoxide with the help of base, that O- will attack on methyl group and iodine will leave in SN2 fashion. We will get OCH3 and sodium iodide as, or any potassium iodide as side product, which can wash out with the help of water. So this is how the methyl iodide is methylate the OH of phenol or acid or alcohol. So these are some examples. With the help of methyl iodide, they did the methylation. So they are using strong base, tertiary butoxy group, potassium tertiary butoxide and methyl iodide. So OH is methylated with the help of methyl iodide to OCH3. Similarly, in this case, OH also methylated in presence of methyl iodide and silver salts. Okay, so most of the time you see when they are using methyl iodide, they are using silver salts. As you see that methyl iodide, when it generates carbocation, it is generating methyl cation. So this is that cation is not very stable. So to polarize the bond between methyl and iodide, they are using silver salts. As silver have the affinity towards the halides, it will coordinate or it will take out the iodine towards himself, and there will be only methyl cation for the reaction. So this is how the silver salts are activating methyl iodide, and there is methylation of OH with the help of methyl iodide. So methyl iodide, Ag2O or any silver salt will help for the polarization of methyl and iodide bond. So here you can see there is a methylation using methyl iodide, and OH is methylated with the help of methyl iodide to ON. Okay, this is how we are methylating the OH of alcohol. Now let's see the deprotection. So deprotection of methyl group is not easy. It's a very inert functional group. That's why the ethers are very difficult to deprotect to OH. So they need harsher conditions, and most of the time people are using BBr3 or HBr in acetic acid. So this is the mechanism. We need harsher conditions for the deprotection of methyl ethers. So O- will attack on boron as it is electron deficient. There is a formation of OBBr2, and after the addition of water, this will form boronic acid, and we will get the free OH group or phenol. We can convert the anisole to the phenol. This is how the mechanism of BBr3 work out. Okay, this is a simple mechanism, but in practical we need very harsher conditions or more reflex to get the high yields. Okay, more time for high yields. There are so many methods which are developed for the efficient demethylation of phenols or alcohols. Okay, so this is how we are methylating and demethylating all the OH functional groups. So you can go through this reference book. This is Greenidge's Protective Groups in Organic Synthesis, 5th edition by Peter Woods. Very good reference book for the protection and deprotection of organic compounds. So I took all the reactions from this book. So you refer the book for protection and deprotection.